Okay, welcome back to more of Hidden Duality. So we're going to be going into kind of the next sub-dungeon. I don't think it's an actual level. But we do need to pick up a kind of an important item. And you're kind of given instructions where to go from level 8. The one clue you got. And I think I already showed off where it was located. Because it was a heart piece in the area, so I went to this path early on to pick up that one heart piece. So just kind of go through this fairly short cave. It's just a straight line up. Okay, so that heart piece over there we can actually get, but I'm gonna collect that after I get the silver arrows. Might as well get this dungeon out of the way first, because it's kind of in a corner. Yeah, and there's that one heart piece down on this screen. And that's why I made the first trip here. And you needed a super bomb to open up the the door to this temple thing. Alright, into the Ice Palace. With rather appropriate music, because this is pretty much the same, the ice dungeon in Secret of Mana. Alright, so this place actually starts off pretty simple. Really not much here so far. But what you're going to want to do when you go through this first part, like with all the Zols, is to pay attention to these rooms. And you'll see why. So you see these kind of like random tiles or missing statues or something. There is a reason for that. I mean, the place doesn't look that difficult so far. But this place has a bit of a gimmick to it. So, I think each of the floors is pretty much the same thing. But one side is your baseline, and when you go to the other side, this is where you get all the interesting stuff happening. Yeah, you notice the enemies are a lot tougher than the other side. Okay, this room. If you looked at the other side, I believe the middle statue was missing. And in this room, the center block was missing as well. And I guess your lens kind of points it out. It's kind of odd. I believe you use a candle on this. It's kind of weird. You'd think you'd use a bomb first. And in this room, this statue wasn't on the other side. Yeah, the Master Sword makes things a bit easier in these rooms. Now you step into, like, some portal. And I'm not even sure how this was scripted into this quest to make this work. But what that does is open the upper door. So now we can actually continue onward. Okay, so we have the same type of puzzle on this floor. And again, you start out with your, baseline side. So just the Zol trebles. Yeah, you don't need to do anything to these blocks. You just leave them there, but just pay attention to the blocks. And there's nothing for this, but, just make a note of it. Okay, so let's go on to the more difficult side. Just fight our way through these rooms. Alright, so this room... Okay, so you got the easy one, you can hammer this one. But if you use your lens, actually, this one is you can do something with. And if you remember from the other side, this is actually a cracked block. Actually, the lens kind of helps you because it'll point out where you need to push these blocks and stuff. But this one's just pushing them essentially into like corners and stuff, so this one's not too difficult. And in this room, you remember there was something on the wall. There was like a button. And again, the lens kind of helps you with that if you don't remember it. And this portal does the same thing as on the first floor. Yeah, I don't have to get too fancy going through those rooms with enemies. You know, Master Sword pretty much, it's like 2 hits for most of the enemies there. Okay, on to the next floor. Now this is going to be interesting how this floor works out. So kind of make a mental note of these blocks, how they're arranged. And just make a note of this for later. And this weird tile here it's there for a reason. You just have to make a note of its spot. Okay, so that looks simple enough, right? Well, when you go onto this side, yeah, the blocks are invisible, and the lens doesn't help you. You cannot try to take an easy road out of this. You're gonna have to stumble through this room. Now this room I don't think is a mirror image of the other side. I think it looks exactly the same, but you just start from the opposite end. And if you thought that last room was interesting, this room, you don't see the blocks and you can't even see yourself. Yeah, so you're pretty much gonna be just stumbling through this room. Okay, this room, what you need to do is push the blocks into the pattern you saw on the other side. And again, the lens kind of helps you if you forgot what the pattern looked like. And also, once you get these into the right positions, it kind of locks. You can't push it anymore. Okay, this room. Doesn't look like there's anything here, but if you remember, the other side had that weird tile. So it was in this corner. So after you take out everything in this room, you get the little magic portal to appear, which again does the same thing as the other 2 floors. Okay, so after finishing that floor, okay, up into the top floor here. And if there are too many bats for you, you just go out of the room. And then you just go back in and just get rid of all the bats. You actually want to make sure you go down first, actually. I'm not really sure how you're supposed to get through this without getting hit. Kind of a tricky trap on this one. Just gonna boost myself into that. I kind of wish I was at full power. The problem is if you go into the prior floors, I think you have to do the whole puzzle again. Or at least the other side of it. Okay, so what do you got here? You got a fire block. Yeah, Master Sword makes things a little easier. A lot easier to take out the heads, so I can just kind of tank through it. And your reward is silver arrows. Okay, so really nothing else to do in this place. And see, yeah, if you go kind of backwards, you know, try to refill health and stuff, you have to kind of go through at least the more difficult half of the puzzle or battling stuff. Because this door, you know, you have to step on that portal to open the door. And on this side, you can just go in if you want, you know, extra money or magic refills and stuff. You know, you don't need to go back to the easy side. Alright, nothing else to do in this corner. Got everything we needed out of there. Okay, so we got the Ice Palace done. Got silver arrows, which you'll see how that gets used. I think there's another heart piece you can get with that. So next part will probably just be collecting heart pieces and other, you know, items that we can now get with other dungeon items. Alright, see you guys later.